Oh, it always takes me like 30 minutes to actually get into like talking and shit. Hi. I'm having one of those days where you feel like you look really good, but then like you have nowhere to go, so you're just kind of like, yeah. I feel like that was a really accurate representation. So I decided to tell a story today. Kind of just, you know, no one asked me to, but I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway. It's one of those stories where if you're having a bad day, I'm sure this will make you feel a lot better about yourself. So back in 6th grade, I think this happened at like the beginning / middle of 6th grade, I used to be like obsessed with Glee. I loved it, I watched it like every freaking night, obsessed. And I used to read, it's embarrassing, I used to read Klaine and Britannia fanfiction. Klaine was Kurt and Blaine, and Britannia was Brittany and Santana. From the titles figure, I think you can tell which one we're gonna focus on. In 6th grade, I could not draw boys, like, at all. I don't really know why, I just sucked at it. Couldn't really draw at all, but I tried. But I could draw girls somewhat. So I would draw Britannia fan art. Usually just them talking and shit like that, but every once in a while there'd be a more steamy one. And you know, 6th grade steamy, holding hands or kissing, nothing like inappropriate. I need to fix myself. So I had this one that was like a comic of them like on a bed and they, you know, they're in the cheerleading uniforms, and it was a 2-page comic where like the first page was, you know, them talking, and the last page was just like a big page of just them kissing. And in 6th grade, I didn't really think I was allowed to draw anything like involving like gay people or any shit like that. I'm still not sure if I'm completely allowed to. I don't fucking know. But especially then, it was just like, no. No. So, you know, when I finished with it, you know, I had the bright idea to hide it in the game shelf. Because, you know, that's really smart. You know, no one ever goes to the game shelf because, you know, there's nothing actually to grab from there. Of course not. What was that a good idea? Can 6th grade me explain to me why that was a good idea? I mean, I guess we weren't really playing that many games at that time, so I probably just like, no one's gonna find it. And I put it in the lame part of the game shelf. Yeah. So, you know, the drawing sat there between 2 games on the game shelf, you know. Time passed on, drew stuff, you know, moved on to more just reading and writing fan fiction for it. You know, totally forgotten. Then one day, my dad wants to play air hockey with me. Do you know where air hockey is yet? Air hockey's on the game shelf. And you know where I put the drawing? The game shelf, the fucking game shelf. And, you know, I'm not thinking about it. I'm just like on the ground like, yeah, get the air hockey table. It's a miniature one. We don't keep a gigantic. You're not stupid. So anyway, he grabs it and then he sits down with the thing, and then he's holding a piece of paper. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, a piece of paper. But then he starts unfolding the paper, and I brace myself for my fate. And me being extremely awkward, my face just turned red and I burst out laughing, like the most crazy, like psychotic laugh you can imagine just erupted from me. Then he questions me about it, and then I pause for a second, and then I erupt into this fast talking speech about how it was probably my sister, or no, it was a friend, my friend did, blah 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 blah. And then somehow within this, my mom comes in and sees it, and you know, they're just looking at me. And I just put on this persona where I'm just like being detective, like, let's figure out who did this. And everyone else was just like, we know you did it. Guys, we gotta find out who drew the lesbian drawing. You do know that we know that you drew it, right? And eventually I'm holding the paper. And I'm just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And you know, there's probably a million just like normal things I could have done, but instead, what I decided to do is I decided to run into the computer room and shred the paper. Yeah, they're staying very inconspicuous. It's all over now! So yeah, the fan art I spent a long time drawing was now shredded, and my dignity had been shredded along with it. As you can guess, a very awkward game of air hockey ensued. I'm pretty sure that was probably the most awkward moment I've ever experienced in my entire life. and I just remembered it the other day, which I don't know why. I don't know what triggered it, but it just came back to me. I did a lot of work to block that. Well, I think that's enough of me embarrassing myself for now. Thanks for watching me. I've got a lot of great ideas for videos. Now that I have my Canon, I can do a lot more shit, which is fun. So yeah, if you have any embarrassing stories, feel free to tell them to me. I love embarrassing stories. And you better subscribe or else the lesbian drawing will eat you tonight. See ya!